World of 5FM Radio, bringing you hot, smoldering topics on a weekly basis. Your participation is important.
Good morning and welcome to yet another edition of the Burning Issue here on the Happy World of 5FM Radio. This is the Tuesday edition and we are delighted you could find time to tune in. Remember, we are live on our partner radio stations and these are Wave FM Radio on 98.7 in Mazabuka, covering the rest of Southern Province. Grateful that you could find time to tune in. We are also live on Spice FM Radio in Kawe on 91.1, covering Central, live on Tuta FM Radio in Mansa on 97 FM. Welcome to the Burning Issue again. In 2018, consistent with the Global Task Force on Cholera Control, GTFCC's goal of ending cholera in endemic countries, which is articulated in the Global Roadmap to 2030, Zambia sponsored a resolution to eliminate cholera globally by 2030 at the 71st World Health Assembly. Further to that, Zambia took a bold and ambitious step to eliminate cholera in Zambia by 2025, ahead of the global target. In May 2022, President Hakainde Hichilema accepted the prestigious appointment as Global Cholera Control Champion by the Global Task Force on Cholera Control, GTFCC. Now, as of yesterday, the cases recorded in as far as Zambia recording cases of cholera, we had 249 deaths recorded, and we recorded cases of up to 6,272, and those in admission 1,181. I'm your host, Zachariah Banda. My guest today is a renowned doctor, Dr Canisius Banda. He is a public health specialist, lecturer, infectious and communicable diseases. He is also a member of the Central Committee of the Patriotic Front, and he is actually committee chair on health. A pleasure is ours to host you. Welcome to this particular episode of the Burning Issue. Very important, like you heard, the numbers are not pleasing in as far as cholera cases are concerned. And it's a pleasure that we have you here on this program to help us understand where this is coming from and where we're going with it. Always a pleasure to have you.
Morning, Zachariah. It's a terrible time. It's a terrible time. The PF observes a moment of silence for the lives that we have lost. Needlessly so, we shouldn't have lost them. It's a terrible time. It's cholera is a disease that is not only preventable,
right,
but it is also curable, as we will discuss. But as we start, we should start on a note of national unity, Zachariah. Zambia is a multi-ethnic country.
Right.
Nearly 20 million of us. There are Govas, there are Tumbukas, there are Namwangas, Manyengos, Nkoyas, and all sorts of tribes. Let us remain united.
While you're at it,
let us be one Zambia, one nation. Let us keep thinking, Zachariah. Let's keep thinking collectively as a people. The solutions are within us. As a people, let us believe in ourselves. This is our land. This is our country. And there's nobody else who is going to end cholera, who will develop this country other than you and me. So let us be united. Let us work together, for national security and prosperity.
We'll continue. Let's take a musical break.
Yes.
How many roads roads must a man walk down before they call him a man? How many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? How many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many years must a mountain exist before it is washed to the sea? How many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? How many times can a man turn his head and pretend that he just doesn't see? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many times must a man look up before he can see the sky? How many ears must one man have before he can hear people cry? How many deaths will it take till he knows that too many people have died? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
A musical break, and of course, that is Peter, Paul, and Mary blowing in the wind.
Zachariah, waimva nyimbo ga? This song, Zachariah, ikunena kuti mavuto ya mata. You know how many, for how long can a mountain exist before it is washed to the sea? Paraphrased, for how long can cholera exist before it's ended, before it's eliminated? You see? How many deaths will it take before the leader or the leaders realize that just too many people have died? And are we going to continue to look and turn our heads that the problem doesn't exist? So that's Bob Dylan there, and that song sung by, the song was written by Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
But sung by Peter, Paul, and Mary. It's a song for freedom fighting. Freedom from disease, from hunger, from poverty, from backwardness. Cholera, Zachariah, is a disease of poverty. Matenda yauve. Matenda yausiva. That's what cholera is. Cholera is a fecal oral disease. Fecal from the word feces. Feces, matuvi. Oral, bakamwa. So no, how you get cholera, and let the listeners understand. You get cholera when matuvi, with the germs of cholera, contaminate food or water. So no, chakudya chija, kuli matuvi muja, muli tulombo twa cholera. Iwe nkudya chakudya chija, iwe nkumwa madzi aja, ndimo cholera ibwerera. It's a disease of poverty. It's contagious, meaning that it can easily spread from person to person through contact. Nchifukwa chake pomwe nabwera tilibogwirana m'manja. Naopa kuti kumene nachokera ine kwanga kuja kwa mandevu iliko ka ngakupatseni. So pali pano tisazigwirana m'manja yaye. Osabwerekana mafoni. You know, in some places you find touchless taps. So gwira tapu tsegula, it's got motion sensors, you know. Yeah, that's done so that you don't get contaminated. And you will find that doors, the handles of these doors, they're made of silver or copper because they're repeatedly touched and contaminated. And they have germs, microbes. Now, copper and silver, they kill these things. They kill the germs. This is why the design is silver and copper. And kutsogoloko, nchifukwa chake mulungu mwachitsanzo anatipatsa copper for us to use. Migomo, makapu, yafunika kukhala ya copper. And that way, when there are microbes in the water, the cups would kill these things. So it's a contagious disease spread through contact, and it's when food and water are contaminated. You drink that or you eat that. That's how you get it.
Now, Doc, in 2018, you
Yes.
heard me in the
the
preamble,
intro, yes.
consistent with the
Yeah.
Global Task Force on Cholera Control. Zambia sponsored a resolution to eliminate cholera globally by 2030.
Yeah,
This was done at the 71st World Health Assembly.
yeah,
Further to that, Zambia thought, well, we can do it even before that.
2025.
Yes, and
by
further to that,
2025.
Zambia took a bold and ambitious step to eliminate cholera in Zambia
Yeah.
by 2025, ahead of the global target.
Yeah.
Is this realistic and attainable?
Very realistic. You see, let's salute the founding president of the PF, President Michael Sata. Let's salute President Edgar Chagwalungu. Let's also remember Dr. Joseph Kasonde. He used to be Minister of Health.
Yes.
Yes, and Dr. Chitalu Chilufya. Brilliant team, this team that Zambia had. Their commitment to safeguarding the health of citizens is unparalleled, it's unmatched. You see, starting with President Sata, just when he won in 2011, he made a statement that these unplanned settlements like Mississippi Compound and places like that would be upgraded. You see, now that's leadership. Now, you talk about the resolution at the UN,
Right.
which Zambia sponsored, which was passed. So subsequent to that,
So when you say Zambia sponsored, just for the sake of a layman listening,
yeah, took the lead.
okay,
Zambia took the lead. Zambia is a cholera endemic country.
right,
It's a poor country. Well, badly resource
it's debatable.
resource mishandled, resource mismanaged country, because we are wealthier than the UK. But you see, we are poor, and there's cholera, especially before 2011. We had over 30,000, 40,000 cases of nearly every other year there was a cholera outbreak. But from 2011 to 2016, there was no cholera. And up until 2021, we had cholera in 2016 and 18 thereabouts. And cumulatively, you won't believe it, Zachariah, we only had about 6,000 cases, less than that. But in 3 months only, under the UPND, from October to date, there are over 6,000 cases. You understand that. You see how serious the crisis is. But I'm talking about leadership. I'm talking about the PF. I'm talking about sponsoring the resolution, the UN. This sponsorship was birthed because of concern by the ruling party then, the PF, that the cholera is a problem which shouldn't be a problem in our country. We should eliminate it, not reduce it. Dr. Chilufya, Chitalu Chilufya, couched that resolution for elimination. And it passed. And subsequent to that, Zambia, for the first time in the history of this republic, we are in the third republic now, developed a multi-sectoral cholera elimination plan, 2019 to 2025. So Zambia committed itself that by 2025, cholera would be eliminated in this country. And key amongst the strategies for elimination in the plan is leadership. So leadership is key. And this is why, as you cited, in 2022, Zambia was given that responsibility as the global champion for elimination of cholera.
Right.
So as we speak right now, Uyuwatu, he is the champion, global champion. Our Republican president is not just for Zambia, but for the whole world. He's supposed to take the lead to ensure that cholera ends, not only in Zambia, but the whole world. Now, you see, I told you that President Sata there started saying, oh, we'll upgrade these places. President Sata didn't say, chokani matauni pitani kumidzi. That's not leadership. Avavena kulivena amaivena mkati menemu hakuti chokani matauni pitani kumidzi. Sono mwina kapena iwo ayambe apite ifetiro ndole. But look, that is why there is country and town planning. Country and town planning. Every council in the country has a department of country and town planning. Human settlements should be planned, should be serviced. There should be water and sanitary facilities. And that's how you end it. You don't end it by telling people, pitani kumidzi. Osatero ya. Kujankulakwa. Timati ife mchicheva timati kumene kuja nutukwana. Etsononso tukwana wanthu amene amakupatsa ntchito akuyika mboma wambonena kuti chokani mtauni pitani kumidzi. Kujanulakwa. Now you see the global champion, our Republican president. He is the global leader for the elimination of cholera. There was a big cholera crisis in Malawi. Did he go there to make a statement, not just for Malawi, Zambia, but for the whole world? No, he didn't. There was a global crisis. I'm sure it's still raging across the border here, the southern border of Zambia in Zimbabwe. Cholera outbreak there. Did he go there? No, he didn't. He didn't. 206, is it? How many have died so far?
249.
250 Zambians have lost their lives. Has the president turned up at any of the barrier sites? Has he been to the Hero Stadium, a cholera treatment center, the biggest that we have? What leadership is he showing? Clearly, you can see that there's lack of leadership. This multi-sectoral cholera elimination plan, the first of its kind, done by President Lungu and his team, is not being followed. And it's a global document by our own Republican president. So there is leadership failure on prevention of cholera, on treatment of patients, and elimination.
Now, my question, why I asked you whether elimination of cholera in Zambia by 2025, whether it's possible, yes. I asked you at the backdrop of how we are moving with it.
Yeah, you see, I'll go back to the PF and Dr. Lungu and his team. You see, Just a few months ago, our Republican president went to Kafue there, Shilanga area there, to commission the Lusaka City Water Improvement Project, initiated by Dr. Lungu and the PF, worth over $300 million, funds from the Africa Development Bank, to improve water and sanitation in the city of Lusaka. Successfully done, commissioned by our president, the current one. Now, those are visible, significant, required steps of any government that intends to eliminate cholera by 2025. You see, that investment, over 300 million on water. You see, Lusaka is the most populous city in Zambia. It has over 3 million people. So no sunga bwere numati chokani mu Lusaka. Pitani kumidzi. Yeah. So no kumidzi kumene monga ine nchokera kuvubwi. Nakonse kuja kolera iliko. Kuchadidza kuja kolera iliko. Kulumezi kuja kolera iliko. Ask the Ministry of Health. They've got the statistics. So no nchoke muno mu Lusaka mene ni khala. Nifuno khala muno. I'm a citizen. I've got the freedom to live wherever I want. So no mtsogoleri waboma numati chokani. Pitani, no, that's not part of, it's not one of the recommended activities under the multi-sectoral cholera elimination plan. Yeah. So yes, it's doable. It's doable. Further to that, you see, Dr. Joseph Kasonde initiated the establishment of the very first ever public health laboratory in Zambia at the Chainama Hills College campus area there, and the lab is open. You see, one of the strategies is to strengthen diagnostic capacity, early detection. Okay, somebody is vomiting, somebody has diarrhea. Let's get the stool. Let's have a look at it. Where is he from? He's from Kanyama. Okay, fine. Go there fast. The lab is in place, set up by the PF, Dr. Kasonde, and President Michael Sata. The PF. Nchifukwa chake Zachariah, vantu halini masoka, amaona. Ubwera ukuti nonziwo chita lomba. I will fix it. Unatero. Tsono vantu aluona kuti koma ujana lipo uchawina uja. Amachita ko bwino. Uyu kachitidwe kake. Hai kachikuitsa. You understand me? So the lab was set up to improve diagnostic capacity, early detection. You intervene quickly. Some of the Zambians we have lost, it's because of picking late and reporting late to those treatment centers. And you were asking me earlier, what about if you report early? Yeah? Zambia has had a medical supplies, surgical supplies crisis since 2021. No syringes, no cannulas, no fluids, no gloves, and things like that. Critical shortages of these things. And our Republican president is aware of that. And these are some of the contributing factors to why people are dying, not at home, Zachariah. You can imagine if they died at home, we could say, oh, well, perhaps it's their fault. But cholera, when you are caught by a health worker, a medical doctor, like me, you shouldn't die. Chimene chipetsa vantu va cholera, nusanza, nutulula. Tsono ukamasanza, ulutulula. Ndiponso vantu afunika kudziwa kumalo. Doti, paja ulutulula, limaoneka monga madzi aja ya mpunga, ukamapika mpunga, yaoneka white, gray tere. Tsono mkaona kuti doti lioneka motero, dziwani kuti imene ikhozokhala cholera. Ani nthawi zambiri kulibe malungo. Thupi silitentha, yayi. ungosanza thulula msanga sanza thulula pang'ono madzi mthupi yatha. Now you see, should you happen to be at a center, a government-run treatment center, and you are alive, you shouldn't die. So that is failure again of management now of cases of cholera. Now, further to that, under the PF again, you see, now this is now Dr. Lungu, Dr. Chitalu, they set up the Zambia National Public Health Institute for the first time. Public health, because cholera is a public health issue. One of the things, important things that is done in public health is surveillance. Umafufuza kuti kodi akuti ku Malawi kuli cholera. Tsono vaja lukwera Zambia Malawi alukwera basi. Akumafunika waona kuti kodi iwe tione ukalibofika ku Lusaka olo ukalibolowa mchipata muchi tione kodi uluthulula kodi ulusanza. That is surveillance. Akuvubwi uku kuli cholera. Ava vanthu va Zambia aluchoka mvubwi umu alupita kuchadidza alupita kulumezi alupita kumfuwe alupita kayani ku Lusaka. Tsono tiyeni tiyambe time you set up a screening point before they reach here. These are measures which were developed and implemented by Dr. Lungu and his team, Dr. Chitalu Chilufya, the PF, and they are there. Now you see what the UPND need to do, and Zachariah quote me on this. They need to have Dr. Chitalu Chilufya in that committee. The documents, mandates that the vice president, Republican vice president, will provide leadership in this multi-sectoral response. Honorable her owner, Inonge Wina, launched this multi-sectoral cholera elimination plan. There's another Republican vice president. She's chairing meetings of that committee. She must invite Dr. Chitalu Chilufya and persons that he might wish to recommend to be part of that team. This is a national effort. Let's rally together. Let's be united in fighting this common enemy called cholera. And that way, we will not only save lives now, because right now, people are sick. People are sick. So right now, we need to save lives. And in the long run, we need to continue following the plan. Following the plan. In the long run, I can go on and on, Zachariah. You were talking about the upgrades of health facilities. Yeah, that was done again under the PF.
Because my question is, and I think, let me quickly just remind our listeners that
Yes.
you are listening to the Tuesday edition of The Burning Issue here on the Happy World of 5 FM radio. Well, it's raining heavily now, and we sure hope that these rains are a blessing and not to escalate the pandemic which we have. We pray so. But my guest in the studio is Dr. Canisius Banda, public health specialist. He's a lecturer, infectious and communicable diseases, and he is also a member of the Central Committee of the Patriotic Front and chairing the Committee on Health. Now, we are definitely delighted to have him here because this country is suffering this issue of public health, and cholera is a public health issue which is very concerning. Now, Doc, you have worked in the Ministry of Health, and
Yes.
at some point we were privileged to have you as the spokesperson
of that ministry.
That time, it didn't mean that you didn't have cholera as a country. We didn't have, it's not like we didn't have cholera, but we did. And That time, we probably didn't have as many health facilities as we may have them today.
No.
And more so, now we have even the upgraded ones to level 1 hospitals, where the thought now was that those should have actually been able to manage cholera cases in these townships. Where I know you will get back to leadership, but where are we lacking in order to contain this? Amidst the fact that we have more health facilities now, why do we still seem to be struggling with this issue?
Chimene nirunena kuti when you're a champion, you should show leadership. Osamango diniza mafoni uvala visote.
But here, if you are making reference to the head of state, this is the head of state who has called off his holiday because this is concerning. The numbers
but he went
are
on holiday when the outbreak was raging, so that doesn't count. Now you see, to answer your question directly, what is failing? What is failing is leadership. Trust me, it's leadership. I told you that cholera is a disease of poverty. Now you see today, Zambians are poorer than before 2021. The statistics are there at the Central Statistics Office. Poverty has worsened not only in the city of Lusaka or Lusaka province, but countrywide. You see? Now you see, to be clean, you need to be clean to avoid cholera. As an individual, you see, you need to be able to wash your hands with soap, to chlorinate your water. If you can find the chlorine, you need to have access to water to start with, and you need to have a functional toilet. You see, inuwe na vimbudzi mulinavo manyumba. Ifambiri tilibe tipita kuchire olokapena migodi tichitonjuta pa maenje kuti tichotsedoti kumbuyo. So no, you see, leadership, country and town planning, the economy is moribund, Zachariah, today. You see, mundu wakuti angakwanitsa kugula alibe ndalama kuti aguleka klorini atire madzi, ndalama alibe. Mwaona ka agule sopo azisamba mmanja, ndalama alibe, sopo alibe. Madzi yomwe madzi kuti akhale nayo madzi nayonso alibe, achitokumba pansi. Tsono madirayo shuwa inu mtauni uchitokumba pansi mtauni mulusaka in 2024. No. That is utterly unacceptable. It must not happen. So Zachariah, it's a cross-cutting issue. You know, poverty is involved. The citizens have no money. They're poorer. And you see, being hygienic, being clean, and poverty, they're not bedfellows, yeah? They don't go together. Nthawi zambiri ngati ndiwe wosauka, nusamba mmanja susamba. Ni madzi yomwe suyaona. Uoneka chabe nkachaso. Naone no. So no, yeah. Now look, let me make reference to case management. Management of cases. You're saying, what are the challenges? What are we failing? The PF, you talked about health facilities. Very important. The PF, one of the many things the PF should be remembered for are these health facilities. Not only upgraded, but the development, the creation, erection of new ones, new health facilities. And I will not mention the general hospitals or the teaching hospitals that were created, like the Levi Munawasa here. No, I will not mention those. I'll mention those that are key in prevention of public health and all that, like health posts, as close to the people as possible. Over 500 health posts were built under the PF. You see? Now, you see, the PF not only created jobs, but they also staffed In the reign of the PF, over 40,000 health workers were recruited. But it didn't end there. They created more vacancies, which enabled the UPND to fill. The UPND has not created a single vacancy ever since they came into this. Which health facility have they built? Which vacancy, which establishment have they increased or expanded? But you see, the PF not only employed, filling existing vacancies at the time, but created new ones. So that you see, we have skilled staff to be able, in case of cholera comes, to be able to save those lives. And that's what happened. And you see, within the multi-sectoral cholera elimination plan, Zachariah, you will find case management there featuring. Managing of cases. Now, when you manage these cases properly, the case fatality rate, meaning the number of people dying against the cases you've recorded, will not be this bad. And something which touches me, rather personally, I had tears in my eyes the other day, Zachariah. We lost a nurse in battle, underpaid, overworked, but trying to save other Zambians. She was on duty, working, trying to save a life. I expected the Republican president to say something about that. We can't have health workers dying from cholera as they save their republic, gallantly and loyally save this nation. What does that say? Are these health workers safe? Challenges. We're talking about challenges. Shortages of medical and surgical supplies, gloves, disinfectants, protective clothing, those hazmat suits. Are they there? It's a highly contagious disease. It requires a strict adherence to safety protocols. Now, you can only adhere to these if the government plays its role, makes these things I'm mentioning, gloves and syringes and cannulas and hazmats and disinfectants available. But they're not available as we expect them to be.
Now, Doc,
Yes.
President Hakainde Hichilema has directed for the country to move away from consumption of water from shallow wells in Lusaka and other urban areas as a measure to fight cholera.
Yes.
Are there challenges that you think would hamper achieving such a milestone in Zambia? Now, this question is courtesy of our partner radio station, Tuta FM in Mansa. Very important question.
Yeah, he has recommended that we do what?
He has directed that the country should move away from consumption of water from shallow wells. In fact, he has directed that they should immediately be buried.
It's not time for talking. He's late. His statement is already in the multi-sectoral cholera elimination plan. It's captured there. And steps towards what he wants to see happen are already outlined. They're there. All he needs to do is stop being vindictive, let him ensure some level of continuity. You see, not everything the PF did was to demonize the UPND. The PF was motivated by national development. And these are national documents. Instead of talking without information, and I would blame the Minister of Health here, allowing the president to speak out of 10. The president being embarrassed. He's saying things he shouldn't say. He should be saying, in the next remaining 2 years, we are going to upgrade Mississippi compound. We have found the money for that, focusing on water and sanitation. In the next 2 years, we're going to upgrade Kanyama compound, Kalikiliki compound, Kamanga compound, compounds like that. You see, that's what he should be saying. He should be actually groundbreaking somewhere that, oh, we have begun to build a fresh quantity of housing units, affordable housing units for citizens. He should tell us that, oh, we have come up with a master plan for the remodeling of the city of Lusaka. This is an old city. Look, we are busy chasing vendors. Vendors shouldn't be chased. Vendors should be regulated. Vendors should be registered, capacitated, given tipping numbers. ZRA should collect tax from vendors. Vending prospers nations. But because of our backwardness, we chase entrepreneurs. We say, no, they're defecating. They must defecate. If people or citizens were not defecating, it would become a national disaster. People must defecate. But look, go to Chachacha Road there. Go to Cairo Road. Go to even Freedom Way. In a modern city, Zachariah, you see, like Tokyo. I have lived in Japan myself. Tokyo there. You will find public ablution blocks every 200 meters or so, 100 meters or so, where you can go and drink water for free. You can go and wash your hands. You can defecate. You can even have a shower. Where are they on Freedom Way there? The council should build those things. You see, allow the vendors to vend, collect tax from them, the same money, you build the ablution blocks there. That's how you secure not only the lives of citizens, but the economy. But we are stuck. Like kapena abwidi. Mapirikitsana, yai, simga kwanitsa wapatsa ndalama vantu ava, aleke nazigulitsa, koma, make the environment conducive.
If you are saying that the late President Michael Sata,
yes,
the moment he came into power, his dream and vision was to upgrade townships. How come we did not see not even a foundation of it since his demise?
Oh, well, a lot of
because then we'll take it was rhetoric.
No, it wasn't. It's a step-by-step process.
Right.
And the PF, had the people not voted the PF out of power, this was going to happen. And just to illustrate this approach to development, for example, under the Ministry of Home Affairs, you see, there used to be cholera in Sikanze camp. You see? Now, under the Ministry of Home Affairs, Honorable Stephen Kampyongo and team, you see, the housing status of police officers was improved countrywide. Now, if you look at those units, there are units, you will not find cholera there because there's proper management of waste in those homes. There's water. Yeah. So there are modern health facilities, called homes, but they are health facilities. Because you see, the most important health facility in the world is your home, where you live. Ngati madzi alimo mnyumba, chimbudzi chiriko, vakudya viripo, ukozogona pampasa, there's no problem. You will not fall sick, you will not catch cholera. So you see, steps are gradual. So some of them were taken, some were not taken. And when the PF comes back, hopefully before 2026, because the people decide. The people can recall this president and say, iwe walepera. Unane na kutudziwa chita, tsono lomba, fwe vavemba Zachariah, we say, ukupeshe chiwola, kuchipengwila. So you come, you say, oh, nidziwa, mpambana uyu, nikozo mpambana uyu, nzeru. Akubatsa chance. Vantu kuti chitako ka. tsono tavula ka chita kachitidwe akuti hayi give me time, akuti hayi ujana lipo anachita molakwika anaononga. No. Hey, you said you would correct these things, you would fix it. But now you see 200, you said 249 Zambians have died. They have been fixed. Fixed. Funsansolina funso. Zachariah.
Let's move to the fact that now we have recorded more children in as far as infections are concerned. And it's very worrying because these are helpless beings. How do you handle a situation of this nature? Because at this point, you want to wonder whether this child is allowed to have company of probably a mother in an admission center, for example. How do you deal with these situations of public health of this kind?
Yeah. Children should not be separated from their parents. And as they receive hospital facility care, that should be provided for. There is no better person to look after a child than a parent. Okay? Yeah, and it's sad that kids are affected that way. But kids are the ones that need water more, perhaps more than you and me. You see, matewera, upambuka bana, uwacha. You see, and these kids, their immunity is not yet mature. They are weak. They are vulnerable. So you see, already Zambia's kids are not properly managed because over 40% of Zambia's children under 5 are stunted. They are already disadvantaged. They're not growing in accordance with growth expectations. Salu kula bwino bana. Bana salu kula bwino, salu fufumuka bwino bana alikale ofoka. Tsono madzi kulibe. Vakudya, vashota. The immunity is weak. Weak not just because of age, but also because of poor nutrition. You see, hunger has increased in Zambia. So now we have this crisis. Now you see, a nation that does not look after its kids properly has no future. No future at all. And I'm passionate about kids, Zachariah. I want professors, the very best teachers that any nation has, to be teaching kids before they are 7 years old. You understand me? That's how I have noticed that they're changing this educational system in terms of quantity of time, from 7 years to 6 and things like that. That's shooting in the dark.
And talking about...
Let's focus here. Allow me just to conclude on this. What we must focus upon is the quality of education. Quality of education. It's very key. When we get it right there as a career, even leadership in future will not be a problem. You see, these kids, when they stunt and they grow up to be like you and me, the cognitive capacity is impaired. They can't think. Performance at anything is below par. And their tendency towards violence is high. So kids matter, especially the first 7 years of a kid's life. Don't get professors to be teaching at the university. That's late. Let's get the best art teacher, the best science teacher, the best music teacher, the best language teacher, life skills teacher to teach our kids. Yes, but you were taking me back to another issue.
Yes. So should this cholera problem be left to politicians to resolve, or should it be every citizen's fight? And in this vein, do you ever think that Zambia politicizes cholera too much? Hence, it been very difficult
Politics-
to find a lasting
politics,
solution to the
politics,
disease.
Zachariah.
Because from how you are even putting it,
Yes.
I can tell that there's a political
Yes, there's always a
drive
political
to
angle
it.
to it.
Yeah,
correct.
and why so?
It's because of politics that the Republican president is in office today. Okay, politics is the management of people, is the management of nations, the management of cities, the management. The word polis means city, and politics is a derivative of that. Okay, how do you manage people? Okay, so there are things you have to have laws in place. And now you see the UPND is in breach of the Republican Constitution, sponsoring Antachifwamba to destabilize, opposition political parties. No. Let us follow the rule of law. That's politics. The rule of law. You see, the rule of law, for example, mandates councils, okay, to ensure that they have land, they service those pieces of land, and they give plots, serviced plots to citizens. Food handling is handled by the councils. Rule of law. Before ukulitsa vimbombo kuja ku Lumumba Road, mchopo kuja, twakuja chito timadya. Ehe. Uja aliyense amene aliwotcha nyama ya mbuzi, kayani ya chona, kayani ya nyama iliyonse imene aliwotchewa kubwalo afunika okhala license ka. Chifukwa tulombo twa cholera, tulombo twa typhoid, dysentery, matenda aya amene yabwera through matuvi, tumakhala m'mimba mwa vanthu bena amene agulitsa vakudya. Tsono yese adwala sadziwa kuti ali nato, paja alungogulitsa aluwaza tulombo tuja kuti kuva kudya vija. Now you see, the rule of law has councils, and councils are mandated to ensure public health. You understand me? Now that's politics. I've just given you one aspect.
Right.
Another example of politics in the management of cholera is Dr. Edgar Chagwalungu. You remember there was the Keep Zambia Healthy and Clean campaign. Zachariah. Now, you have a head of state, a Republican president, working with the private sector, working with the public sector, going into communities, working with community committees, at community level. Because you were asking me, is it just politicians? No. But look, President Lungu worked with his cabinet ministers. He worked with the private sector. He worked with the public sector, the civil service. And he worked with members of the community, designated sites every month to manage waste, to clean. And the PF wrote to this government, the UPND, allow us to assist in cleaning the city. But they say, no, that's bad politics. That's bad. Kulimatenda, afuna kutadiza, numakana, ukaniranji. Ukaniranji. Now that is bad politics. The optics are terrible. They're bad.
What will your advice be to government and maybe Lusaka Water and Sewerage with regards to the supply of water? Now, I'm asking this question because this is a very crucial time where disease is almost everywhere. Because now, I'll give you an example, and I'm asking this question because the Lusaka City Council has not supplied water in some parts of Lusaka. There has not been water supply. For example, Mtendere A, I'm getting a report, Mtendere A section, since 26th of December last year, residents of this place have not had water. And at this crucial time, probably they are fetching from nearby townships, from at the moment, amidst this situation.
So no president adziwa minutes. Alikuti president. Citizens in Mtendere there, alibe water. Maadzika, so no water is life. You see, I can give you one scientific fact, Zachariah, that commonly people say we are 2/3 water, but it's much more than that. The human being is over 80% water. The body of a human being.
Yes.
Yeah. We are water, actually. We are water creatures. So ngati ulibe madzi, ndiye kuti ulibe moyo. Tsono president kufunika muuza tero chuchuluchu kuti ngati munthu alibe madzi ndiye kuti alibe moyo. Tsono kumtendere uku kumene vanthu akhala from last year without water. That's some kind of what's the word? You know, this thing of killing people in large numbers. It's called what? What is
Massacres.
it? Something similar to genocide, but
Yes.
it's not genocide. I mean,
Yeah.
look, it's indirectly like that. You see, if you don't supply, it's your responsibility to supply citizens with water. You don't. Water is a public good. That is why anywhere in the world, whether in Sweden or in Angola, in Zambia, privatization of water is a thorny issue. Because you see, can you imagine if water was in private hands? And then people would die. Now you see, President Lungu, the PF, spent over $300 million on the Lusaka City Water Improvement Project. You know, doing a pipeline, doing boosters to pump water from the Kafue River to Lusaka. Where is the water? And the current president, Republican president, commissioned the project, happily saw, saying, oh, look at what we've done. Okay. Yeah, you've commissioned it. Well and good. Started by other people. Oh, you didn't acknowledge that. Oh, that's okay. But where the hell is the water? That's terrible, you know. That's terrible. There must be water. So now you're talking about water. So the Ministry of Water and Sanitation needs to take water now, as an emergency now, because this is the crisis. Water in houses should be taken there. Wherever there's no water, there should be water. People should be taught that, look, there is going to be a tanker that's coming with water at such a time, twice a day. You should come and collect water. Because people must have water. If
And
they have no water...
in fact, to that effect, they have started. I think, yes, the government through the Ministry of Water.
Yeah, but they started yesterday. What about, you told me they've had no water since last year.
Yeah.
So a number of people in that area have died from diseases that are waterborne and that are a product of poor water and sanitation. Yes.
Before we open the phone lines,
Right.
let me just first of all remind our listeners that our guest this morning is Dr. Canisius Banda, who is a public health specialist. He's a lecturer of infectious and communicable diseases, and he is also a central committee member of the Patriotic Front, and he chairs the health committee. Now, you do remember, Doc, that on the 30th of December 2023, Patriotic Front, your party, the Secretary General, Honorable Raphael Nakachinda, actually offered his members to help and join the cleaning of the Lusaka CBD in light of the widespread cholera outbreak that has claimed over 200 lives now. So what it is now is that when this application was made, the acting town clerk, engineer Lifter Ndaba, rejected the offer, claiming that Mr. Nakachinda did not represent the Patriotic Front as illegally amended records at the, well, you may call it illegally, but it is what it is. But we do understand that your first application was rejected. Now, you, as a party, you made an appeal. to the mayor. In this case, you escalated the matter to the mayor,
Yeah.
and I'm just receiving news now that Her Worship Chilando Chitambala, the mayor, has accepted to offer, stating that the fight against the cholera outbreak requires a multi-sectoral and a multi-stakeholder approach, and therefore the Patriotic Front will go ahead and participate in the cleanup.
That's wise.
Is that wise?
Yeah, it is
but somebody
wise.
else
But you
would
said,
say
that initial guy, what was his name?
The acting town clerk, Engineer Andaba.
His name was what?
Engineer Andaba.
Yeah, you see what that fellow
did. But everybody would think, well, it was escalated to the mayor. She is Patriotic Front. Probably she's doing this because she's a member of the party.
No, she's wise. And, when you're mayor of the city, you're not mayor of the PF. You're mayor of the city, you see, and the city has Citizen First members, Socialist Party members. It has National Democratic Party members. It has economic freedom fighters. It's got citizens that don't belong to any political party. And that's wise. That's leadership. That's how a mayor should respond. But what that engineer did, that's utter nonsense. Allow me to say that. That's utter nonsense. He's talking about factions and all that. There's only one PF. And I should commend President Lungu for establishing clarity of leadership in the PF. The PF is a lot better now. You see, everybody in the world knows that Dr. Lungu is the president of the PF. So there's clarity of leadership in the PF now. But you see, the UPND, I told you earlier, it's in breach of the Republican Constitution. Zambia is a constitutional democracy. People reintroduced multi-party politics in 1991. Repeal of Article 4 of the Constitution. Are you with me, Zachariah?
Yes.
Yeah, so the PF and other parties, these are products of citizens. They belong to the people. But you see, the UPND is sponsoring Antachi Fwamba to bring the UPND is a veritable danger to constitutional democracy in Zambia. Now, that engineer, that's a civil servant, is getting involved in politics. That's utter nonsense. He must stop. He should be talked to and told that, no, look, this is a non-partisan issue. Cholera is a non-partisan issue. So, and look, any hand that's willing to help should be welcomed. Private sector, opposition political parties, the church, the international community, cooperating partners, everybody. Now, you see, let me conclude on this point.
Yes.
You see, there's only one PF, and Dr. Lungu is a citizen of Zambia. He has his liberties, his responsibilities and duties as a citizen, and any law which exists, which is at variance with the enjoyment of these things of his as a citizen, is null and void. So he should be allowed to participate in the governance of his country.
Thank you very much for that response, Doc. Dr. Canisius Banda is our guest this morning on the Burning Issue Tuesday edition. It's time for us to interact with you, our listeners, by calling us on 0955-221515. And of course, send us your messages, both text messages and WhatsApp messages on 0761-912493. That's for your messages. Once again, the number for your text messages and WhatsApp messages are 0761-912493. For your phone calls, 0955-221515. We are live on our partner radio stations, Wave FM Radio in Mazabuka, covering Southern Province. Live also on Spice FM in Kabwe on 91.1, covering Central Province. And Tuta FM in Mansa. And of course, on 90.7 FM. We are grateful that we are live on those platforms. Let's take your calls now on 0955-221515. We have a caller. Good morning. Doc, maybe you can just have your sets on. Good morning.
Good morning, boss. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay.
Okay, your name, sir, and where are you calling us from?
This is the woman Sanjay calling you from the center, Kanyama.
Woman Sanjay, please go ahead.
Mwoka Banda Canisius Banda.
Ine nadzuka bwino mbale kaya iwe kaya.
Yai nave tipawe mwankwasa.
Tikufunirani mafuna abwino.
Yai nave tikufunirani mafuna.
Osa magwirana mmanja yayi.
Yai kinalikale. Osa kimvesesa ndiye famile turufuna hivyo.
Kuti osa magwirana mmanja kuli matenda.
Nditu mfumu.
Nakambe iwo.
Zikomo. Toyambirira kili bwino mwaita bwino kubwera kukanema. Kamene turufuna nthawi zino nikubwera ophunzitsa abantu mwa dotoro ndiye ntchito yanu chifukwa turiona pamene turi kukhalira kuno kwa Kanyama. I think umbuli unafakisa ngako mweyo wa PF mwatumangira madrainage koma seo madrainage tapanga mabini romba yabwera manzi madrainage ya fasa yayamba kutulukira manzi yayamba kugera mu manyumba mwathu. So pano ife bantu bamene tayamba kulira kuti yayi manzi cholera. Pamene sichili bwino ansiza kankhala bwino murutuza kuti manzi tubwatise amene turupeza yaja kuti tibwatise timweko manzi yali bwino. Angati tiliye tikuleko kwa klorini kavaive kuwaja tafakako mmanzi. Koma bantu jaba muntu balinganga manzi ya mmigodi tusukira mbale. Tapaka nsima ya bwino. Roma taenda kufika nsima leza mene rasaba na manzi ya mmigodi. Kodi chili bwino adotoro ichi. Yai. So kuline niyamikira kuliwa abo bamene babwera kuti bakulolani kuti mukapirinde musiti yathu. Kavale ni majombo adotoro mukankhale kusogoro. Koma sikamezi time kuti akayambe kuimya makofi bantu yambe kuutuka mtauni yena akakirine akasiyeleka siyabwino futanso pochoka mtauni bantu bakakambe kuti mwawerera kuzakirina muziko mtauni yasu noti kubwerera ndale siko mulungu zikudalisani tufuna chipali chanu chifereretwa tichifuna kumachekisa ndi balansi bantu apa bamene baliko banasala bali kuti valepera simasolution nayo zikoma tati
zikoma Msanje 0955-221515 is the number you're calling us on. The burning issue. Good morning,
comrade. Good morning.
Very well, thank you. How are you today?
Wonderful. Dr. Mainza here.
Dr.
Calling
Mainza.
you direct from Hatembo family, Lusaka, under Kanyama constituency.
Great, good to have you.
Canisius Banda, Mwauka.
Ine nadzuka bwino kwambiri kaya iwewe.
No, tazuka bwino nditi.
Ambuya tamandike.
Canisius mwadabwisa chalo chakainde echirema. Ndalama zake ma constituency mu Lusaka yali service. Anapasa maboho. Chila constituency there is a boho. From wakainde echirema. Manja ayo ndolola kwanja. Akamba kuti Canisius Banda. Chitani prove mundandanda under CDF money. Mukambe zamene mfuna. Koma simuchita zamene hizo. Ndiye bantu bashotela manzi. Nimbela mulalikira mandi pangani ya manzi. CDF they are their money. Why mwesimu gatandizira yanzu kutenge kijachuma amekinye sure kutibamba kunwa manzi yali kirini. Why simubira nchito hiyo? Number 2, Canisius. Banzanu mweme wana kuchikila akainde chefanayo papa mweme wana limo opposition. Panali kutandizira antu. Koma mwetuo na chape mweyambada. Mukamba kutiboma ya UPNDC tebenza bwino. Koma chapwino nichiti. Imwe mbali yanu chamine muzachi tajapwino kuchikila mazambia ni nichiti. Number 3, majene jifisikana. munapanga ma drainages yamene siyali bwino imwe apiye ndiye ekyo manzi yalibe direction ni pali ponse. So you are the contributor for this problem of cholera. You are one of them who contributed. So kamba kaicho, as a Zambian, we are not happy that the Gani kanali bwino munasebenza mopanda kuganiza mopanda kuplana ndiye vuto ekyo manje mopulesa cholera. So abanja imwe munazipisha mweka muyopyenge kamba kakusimankala politician recycle bonda chuma tinalukuuzani izo nzeru zochetekera zamene muli nalizo ikayeka naite tina nzeru muzaona development muziko izachuruka imwe mwachaba mwe mulandi wo konda chuma manje muli kuti pamene mukambira panja patira so pano tikupe mpani panja pamene mulilya bweresani my ideas yabwino kuboma so that vintu vyambe kuenda bwino. Ini conclusion ikani nyumba yangu pamoja amouti champata kuzivani ndiye president wanu patisa kuzivani wai mungala moso general secretary for PF chakuzivani manje mulugamba wati PF ni mozi bwani batu wazako ngali
ziko mama enzi
Zachariah Zachariah nizabala ina so Canisius bachandi zile ba PF banzani ikisha zizolongosoka so that move na kuferera because we need the PF and we don't PF at the same spot again. Thank you.
I would love if most of you that are calling in, we make contribution in solution to the pandemic right now. We would be grateful. But let's get more calls on 0955-221515, and we will be grateful if you did. Let me pick up one call from a clergy. Good morning, Father Gabriel. How are you this morning?
I'm very fine and good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Hello?
He can hear you.
Yeah. Zach, first of all, I would like to commend you, most especially for inviting the medical personnel to look at this issue.
Right. Thank you.
And I would like that at some point during the week also invite others to deliberate on this matter. You know where I stay, here in Garden House, Kanyama.
Yes.
The issue of cholera is a reality. But what our people are lacking at the moment is information. And you know the levels of education are not very high amongst our people. But nevertheless, we have to endeavor, most especially, to communicate to them so that they get to know how to avoid this pandemic. Number two, it is an issue of people looking at it in a religious sense, that you can resolve cholera through prayers. Yes, the panacea can be there, but first and foremost, let us listen to those who have the technical know-how in terms of medicine, in terms of medical issues. Like in the morning today, I received somebody and I said, "You've come from us, but we are cleaning here." No, Father, I was praying so that this pandemic can go. I told him, yes, prayers are important, but we have to endeavor to make it a point that we clean our places. Number three, I would like to commend the doctor there to make it a point that he comes out strongly in telling the people out there that this issue is not a myth. It is a reality. And we have to make sure that we take good care of ourselves. The numbers are going high. And here on this side of Kanyama, we are sitting on a stone. Flooded. And I encourage that even if the houses are in waters at the moment, something can be done by our people to avoid the escalating numbers. And lastly, I would like to call upon each and every individual in our country to take a step. Let us not wait for the last moment. Each and everyone must be involved so that we can avoid the death which we are seeing. Because the other issue which is very painful for me is that when you die because of cholera, you are buried without your relatives. Your relatives are not there to mourn you, and the burial is not dignified. Thank you, Zach, and
Thank
God
you.
bless, and God bless Doc.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Father Gabriel. And of course, I've got a message here. Good morning, Zach, and good morning, Doc. Dr Canisius Banda. Ine dzina langa ndine Dickson Mbewe. Nilichoka kuja ku Mtambe kwa mandevu. Adotolo mukulankhula bwino ka chichewa. Tiri kumva bwino. Zach, my concern is the people in leadership must work hard not to end cholera, but to eliminate it completely. 60 years after independence, we are still suffering from cholera year in, year out. It is a shame, he says. So that is Dickson Mbewe making a contribution. And Doc, maybe you would want to react so far.
In the Zachariah, to start with, let's thank you for affording citizens this platform.
Right.
It's through such dialogue or multilogue that I told you, let's keep thinking as the people, and we will build consensus, find solutions, and we will get better as a people.
Right.
Dickson Mbewe, Adiki, and Zachariah, you won't believe it. Kumene anena uyu kumtambe ndiko kuskulu kwanga kumene kucha. I was born in Mandevu compound.
Yes.
And I went to Mutambe Primary School in Mandevu compound.
Okay.
And I am what Dr. Kenneth Kaunda envisioned. When you go to the University of Zambia, you find a plaque there that says, look, this facility was built by poor people for them. And whoever passes through this institution should be of value to these people.
Right.
And this is exactly me, you see. And this is why when you called, I came. Because I'm a product of public education. I was educated by Zambia for Zambians.
Right.
And this is why I'm saying let's be together and look. Adika Kuti, it's a shame that 60 years since the restoration of independence. By the way, Zambia didn't become independent in 1964. We were independent way before that. It was just lost and then restored in 64. So it's a shame. But let's continue to send our kids to school. And education, as Father Gabriel insisted, emphasized, is key in fighting diseases like these. So morning on sakumeneko non abalewanga mama ndevu niliko kuna still leading you. We are going to the promised land someday. So Father Gabriel here is to be commended, and He says the level of education is low. Ambiri bantu sadziva kuti aya matenda yabwera bwanji. This was in Parliament, Zachariah. The Minister of Health was taken to task just early on when the outbreak started.
Right.
But why are there no health education campaigns?
Yeah.
You know, there are no notices and people not being informed. So this must be done. People must be informed. And I told you earlier that aya matenda aya tibwezere Zachariah yabwera chifukwa chakuti kuchakudya kapena kumadzi kwagwera matuvi. Tsono matuvi aja yali ntulombo twakolera. Tsono iwe nkudya chakudya chija kapena madzi aja nkumwa. Tere apa anthu alumvetsera uku akhale odziwa kuti ngati chinthu kapena ni mango waitsuka sungatenge kolera yayi. Komanso ngati ni madzi wapitsa wachita boil madzi, you boil the water, sungadwale kolera yayi. Chakudya pika, you cook it. Ufenda vakudya vimenevi, mango imene ifenda. You can't get it. Peel it, wash it, cook it, boil it, or just leave it. Mudzaona kuti kolera sidza bwera yayi. So Father Gabriel is talking about somebody who was praying. Let us not stop to pray. Prayer is affirmation of our faith. And we are told that, and it is true, that faith alone is dead. Faith alone is dead. It has to be coupled with deeds. Usamba manja. Tsono akunena kuti wena kutsuka mbale ni madzi from a shallow well. It goes back to water. It goes back to country and town planning. It goes back to state house. It goes back to leadership. How the hell is it that today, only 10 kilometers away from the central business district of the capital city of Zambia, there are wells? How is that possible? Where the hell is development? What are we doing? Flying all the time? Playing with phones? Wearing hearts? What are we doing? Debt restructuring. Let's restructure. Come on, people. We've got copper. We've got gold. We've got emeralds. Zambia has the best emeralds in the world. Elon Musk, the world's richest guy, got some and sold them. And he's there, he's got the money. But he got less than 1%. Most of the emeralds are still there in Lufanyama. Hey, let's allow Zambians to mine, to sell. Let's advocate for fair trade. Let's increase shareholding in existing mines. Let's collect tax from them. Both taxable income and non-taxable income from these minerals would end cholera. This is not a city. A city should have sanitary facilities, should have water, and water that you can drink straight from a tap. In some cities, it's hot in the day. You just go 100 meters, you find a water point. And you don't have to touch it. Just place your mouth near it, the water jets out, and you drink the water. Huh? But you see, I'm able to speak like this because of Mutambe Primary School. So let's send these kids to school, and let's continue to educate one another. Sambani manja, vakudya bwindikirani, ikampo nimbale, nchenche zisakake yai. Komanso boil the water. And I know you have no money to buy chlorine. I don't know how you
Can I give you another text message from
before we get another one? Oh,
okay.
maybe let's
let
get
me give
another
you
one
this
before I go
because-
to, is it Manida
Yeah.
and Musanje?
So
Right.
good morning, Uncle Zach and Doc Banda.
Yes.
I don't think it's necessary to politicize the cholera issue.
Oh,
Poverty
okay.
isn't the major factor in this crisis because it's orofico, right? We don't have to be stinking rich to warm our food, wash the utensils, wash the fruits, and warm food before we consume it. PF never employed 40,000 health workers. It's a lie. You are linked to PHIZ. And so, why don't you work together with the people you are purporting to be carefree? Zambia isn't for UPND alone. And so, all of us should strive hard to eliminate the disease. You should advocate for public health workers to go flat out in communities to sensitize the masses. So, to sensitize the masses, as that is their duty. It is also about the mindset of us Zambians. We have never experienced such issues like hurricanes, etc. Yet we are very dirty people. Why? Mindset. We throw garbage anyhow, etc. This pandemic doesn't need us to be very educated to avoid it. Why should I wait for the president or Boma Yanganepo for me to wash my hands? After using the toilet, for that matter. Let's be realistic and stop politicizing issues that affect our health. I implore you to work with the people responsible and put politics aside. Thank you very much,
What's his name?
Christabel.
Oh, Christabel. Christabel is very passionate, but everything is political. Everything, is political. Even access to water is political. Access to food is political. This is why these things ought to be in the Bill of Rights as justiciable matters. You should be able to sue the state for failure to provide you with clean and safe water. She says she's very concerned. She says, you don't need much money to wash your hands. But what do you wash your hands with? You just told me, Zachariah, that there's no water in Mtendere there. The Lusaka Water and Sanitation Company hasn't been sending water there. So what do you wash your hands with? What do you wash the fruits with? You see, and she says it doesn't need much to boil water. Well, you need energy. And the cost of energy in Zambia is very high, both charcoal and electricity, and even gas, very expensive. And the cost of living is way too high. I don't know where Christabel lives, but really, this is a disease of poverty. And let's end poverty, and this disease will end. She's talking about public health workers. Now, you see, this is one of the successes of the PF. You see, for the very first time, a Directorate of Health Promotion was created at the Ministry of Health under the PF, just to focus on what the father was talking about, educating the public, informing them about basic things that they can do to ensure that they're hygienic and they avoid these fecal diseases. And in addition, what happened under the PF was that public health officers now, in the establishment, vacancies were created and they were placed at health facilities. So if you go to Chipata Compound Health Facility there, you find a public health worker whose responsibility it is to know the people, everybody in the community, where they get their water from, you see, how they get rid of their feces, their fecal matter, waste and all that. Okay, are they sending kids to school? Are the kids immunized? And it work like that, you see. And in addition to that, a community health worker strategy was developed under the PF to involve the community in these things. So Christabel, what she's actually pushing an open door. It's just a matter of my friend Sylvia there at the ministry and my other friend, Akainde, to just refer to these documents. This is why I said allow Dr. Chilufya to be part of that committee. It's in a non-political way. He's going to offer his experience and expertise. It's a collective effort. Let's work together to fight this disease. Now, coming to, is it Manida or Mainza?
Mainza. Yeah.
Mainza is somewhat personal.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I think Mainza, we should pray for him. But what Mainza needs to know is that because of what the UPND has not done, the PF now is again the most popular political party in Zambia. And the PF has only one leader, and that is Dr. Lungu, Edgar Lungu, and people out there saying Lungu, 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 Abwerenso. And then Musanje is saying drainages were blocked. He actually commends the PF for building these drainages, and these were done, in consultation with architects, experts. But his worry is that Umbuli Wanyanya, Kayaruiga Mochiani, Menemu Maenje, so they're getting blocked, and now the water is flooding, and they're not serving the purpose that they were put there for. And then what else did he say? Cleaning of what? Plates with dirty water. Yeah, that was him. Yes, I think that's it.
Well, let me take a few calls.
Makofi. Makofi. Yeah. So we use Makofi to fight the germs.
Right.
Canisius Banda.
My beloved Proud, how are you?
I'm in Mandemo, your hometown.
Unaenda kubola?
Ile chinitamba bora ina.
Proud, just switch off your radio in the background, please.
Proud,
what about here, Zaki?
Please go ahead.
First of all, Canisius Banda as a Dr. Proud in Kupempani Mupere ku UPND. Why? Bantu swanga hivyo tefi kwanda barungu. Baba mani wao wanapa ya Mungu. Siwa komentako. Anabangiwa Zaki 25 years or 20 years.
Tentikambe pa Cholera Proud. Cholera yavuta kumandevu ko kulibwanji nkani ya Cholera.
Please. Is it good of a president wanakamba kuti in the future banning in the body. But in any paper kuti, connection fee ya water and the garden water trust. Na kuna kukonekita manzi kukanyumba banga for minu kuna ukade. Wanaisha Philippine too. Ninale pera. As long as this the government institution who doesn't follow what the Republican president, as a citizen who continue kutapa manzi aku mgodi kusukila mbali. Because we got no choice. What we want the Minister of Health to pass a chlorine. It can't be possible, Zaki, to have all the pump learning. It can't happen. For example, we got a bore where our president is digging a banana, including in Mutendel. Those supervisors are not yet putting any tank in a banana. But our president is on China is a tank. Inaturi wapaka banana now bantu wakuja wauze kwetu barani migodi. Mayor walionipa mena uka manje na deputy mayor. Including in town, we had mayor before when the man was Bana Kukavana when Shaka Puswa. Including the spokesperson for Kansas Chanda Makanta. This is the duty now to talk about drainage. You want some Muta Mangani, Bani, go to wherever the turn off as you go to prime drainage in Azura. But what council watching and drama, Surura drainage. If people throwing it only, a council town cracker issue to be like Alex Mansa, and that with the issue statement. Including the ZNBC director, you should pull up to the socks to fight this cholera is not only the Mungo Pakamasi. Any news, beat in 19 hours, connect TV1, TV2, what you want to attend to a president to Wakabuai, not to go to ZNBC, Mugustoy, TV2 Batamba to Magadori, no. We want him to come to Macommon with a proud Duka Boku and a one in Kanya Korea, not as in Wakaba politics. So that person of ZNBC has the witness in Kina and
Zikoma, Proud. There's overt actions on Facebook page. It says it's not about having a lot of health facilities. Cholera is a hygiene problem. People must be taught to clean themselves and their surroundings as a preventive measure. we must have a sense of ownership of our communities. Thank you very much, Ovet. There is another one. Mwang says, to some degree, cholera has only exposed how dirty Lusaka City and fit to be the capital city, devoid of ill will. Right? That's from Facebook. And of course, morning, Zach. No water in George compound and no hope of it coming soon. That's Dennis Liambita. That is again a report on which township hasn't got water. There's Kebi Juba, who says, good morning, 5FM, and my greetings to the charismatic Dr. Canisius Banda. It's been a while, Doc. You have been quiet. The arena of public interest missed your outlooks on many issues of public interest. And it's only bad that you played a wrong card during the 2021 elections. Otherwise, I admire your wisdom, Doc. Now, coming to the cholera issue, Doc, let's not politicize this acute pandemic, claiming lives at an alarming rate, for that matter. It's also about personal hygiene. Some people are naturally careless, Doc. However, we appreciate some of the ideas you have outlined there. I hope the current leadership is listening. And just to inform you that His Excellency HH has not failed. The fight is still on, is still not yet over. So please, let's fight this pandemic together as a team. Otherwise, thanks for the privilege, Razak, and may God help us fight this cholera. One Zambia, one love, Dr. Canisius Banda, Napita Ine.
Thank you. Thank you. I've been quiet for a while.
That's KB.
That's KB?
Yes, that's KB.
Yeah. If Etimati kuona masanko nungudeka.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes, you speak loudly when you're quiet. Yeah. But then when you're quiet, you're observing. You want to see what really is going on. And like it has happened, I came and here we are, Zach, and we're talking. So, yeah, I will speak for you. This is my purpose here on this stone called Earth. I won't stop. And then George Compound. We must thank, remember I told you I lived in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, we must thank the Japanese government. In olden days, George Compound used to lead. It was an epicenter of cholera.
Yeah.
And then came the Japanese, and they put up those tanks.
Yeah, the community
water tanks, yeah. Yes. And cholera disappeared from there, you see. And in Japan, cholera ended in 1975 because they were able to reticulate clean and safe water to over 90% of the households in Japan. The Japanese, a long time ago, they would defecate in the water upstream, and downstream people would be fetching the water, and that's how there was cholera there. So they stopped that. So it's still happening in Zambia. Let's learn the lessons. And I got my master's degree in public health from there. Yeah, and this is perhaps why I spoke for the ministry, and I'm still speaking for Zambia. Now, health facilities, health facilities are important, and health workers are important for case management, okay? Of course, you will not manage cholera in a clinic. You'll have to set up a quarantine facility somewhere for suspects and those that are confirmed cases. Then you isolate them and you treat them separately somewhere. So there's a role for all these facilities. And then Proud is angry. Proud wanted to connect water to his house. They told him pay 3,200. He couldn't afford. Proud has no money, and it's not just Proud. It's nearly every citizen. Even those with cars have no money. They're failing to buy gas to put fuel in their cars. The money has been taken as they fight inflation. It's the credit levels in the economy are very low. That's why the economy is even slowing down. It's contracting and all that. So Proud is angry, and Proud is shooting at ZNBC. He says the director there has failed. That's what Proud is saying, and Proud is UPND.
He wants more sensitization on the cholera front.
Yeah. He's disappointed with ZNBC. That's what he's saying. Yeah, so Proud has no money, and Proud is disappointed with ZNBC, and Proud is UPND. And Proud wants me to go to UPND, where I was and where I saved, and I thank Hichleman Group for affording me that platform.
Does he think that you are a solution?
I did my, yeah. Proud is convinced that, Hakainde with me on his side, Hakainde would behave. Akuti mwina dokota ndiwana tenga nzeru za chipani anapita nazo. Yeah, you see? Yeah, but my time there ended. I did my stint, mission accomplished. I helped Hichilema, and he's in God's hands now. So now he's facing the jury. The citizens now are judging his performance, and the citizens have a damning verdict. They're not happy with what he has done so far. Now, somebody is saying we should not politicize. Oh, I think we talked about this. It's all politics. Everything is politics.
Doc, your concluding remarks.
My concluding remarks are that let's remain united as the people. This country belongs to all of us. It's a wealthy country. It's got all the resources we need for our prosperity, for ending cholera. And that's important. National unity, one Zambia, one nation. And then secondly, Zachariah, cholera ni matenda ya uve, matenda ya usiva, matenda yomwe yabwera chifukwa cha matuvi ajangatia pezeka kuchakudya kapena kumadzi. Tsono matuvi muja muli tulombo, and then you drink the water, and then you eat the food. So fundamentally, it's a personal issue, but the state needs to come in and ensure the environment is conducive to being hygienic. At the moment, Zambia is in a pathetic state. Poverty has increased. It's a failing country. But there's hope. We'll get better. This mountain, which we've had for years, someday will be washed to the sea.
Peter, Paul, and Mary, blowing in the wind, takes us out. Thank you, Doc, for coming.
God bless you, and God bless the Republic.
How many roads must a man walk down before they